Whenever you are.
I'm still
And we're
singing
live.
tenor.
All right. All right. Hello,
All right.
everyone, and welcome to tonight's adventure of Dungeons and Dad Jokes. Sorry for the delayed opening, but some things just can't be helped. We'd like for you to subscribe and join in our live chat, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And do be sure to check out our website, D and Dad Jokes. Almost said it wrong. danddadjokes.com, where you can find more information, Town Crier, where we give brief scenario of things that's happened in the past, the GM's Corner, just brief information, and updates, and a little bit about our characters. So check that out. All right.
Click the like button.
Yes, click the like button. All right, let's get going on tonight's episode, which is number 36, entitled Somebody's Watching. And we're going to start with
Hoping.
reading the
We're
town
hoping.
choir.
Town choir.
I'm still singing tenor.
That's what we get for talking about barbershop before we get on. All right. Last week, Stroldock met with the group in the manor and, upon request, took the group to his office for a more private conversation. When asked, he did present the proof of ownership for the chalice. Fix, with the aid of Cadeth and Evangeline, investigated the document and concluded his appeared the most authentic. Seeing that the party did not seem to be satisfied with the security of the manor, Stroldock did offer to show them the chalice. He led them to a secret door, signaling the guards, and opening up a wall to a staircase to go beneath his manor. Cadeth took note of the various traps that were disabled as they went. There was magic on the stairs, there was a mechanical lock on the door, there's magic on the pedestals inside the vault, various magical auras. And Stroldock disabled the magic specifically protecting the chalice so that Fix could take measurements and Evangeline make a copy. He listened intently as the group discussed their plan to fool Guerra with a copied version. As they were getting ready to leave, Evangeline gave Stroldock a sneak peek at the painting that was going to be auctioned. As the group left, Stroldock reset all of the traps and directed the group to the marble table for drinks and rooms for the evening. The group followed the directions, seeing the grand buildings. Oh, wow. That is not at all what I actually typed. Seeing the grand buildings and bridges of marble. As they were setting in for the evening, Fix felt the familiar scry that was not able to connect. Cadeth searched the hall, using his sight to look into the rooms, and found one who was cleaning up a magic circle. The man was confronted in his room by the group. He gave his name as Kalad Taluik, and that he traveled alone. Though he never admitted who his employer was, the group did believe that it was Guerra as the prime suspect. They were then able to teleport back to Key, where they decided to confront Guerra and gave her the fake chalice. With Devakri giving his confirmation, Guerra stated that the favor was complete. Fix informed her she was no longer welcome at the Trenson residence, and she left. Once she was on her way, Evangeline refashioned her pocket, knowing this would make the fake chalice disappear. We ended last week, I believe you guys were headed into dinner at the Trenson residence and found Dolrun sitting at the table already, and food is provided. This is where we're going to pick up. I never sent you an email for Forsyth.
Nope.
Forsyth.
Nope. You did not send me an email for Forsyth.
No, I did not.
Didn't send
you
me
an
one
email
either.
I sent everybody an email.
And you
All right.
think I read it.
No, I don't.
I do
Nope.
file them. I have them all.
That's what's rather humorous. After making a couple of little runs, you met up with Sylvia. After making a couple of little runs with Sylvia, the money, I'm going to say you gave some to the rest of your Thieves Guild there. And but I'm going to say you, on top of what you gave to the Thieves Guild, you're going to pocket 34 34 gold. So you're going to pocket that.
For me?
Yeah, you.
Okay, no problem.
This is what's taken place during the day and a
Right.
half or so that they've been gone. So you're going to be able to pocket about 34 gold. Sylvia
We
does.
did actually leave him in thrice.
Yes.
Okay.
You are in thrice. Sylvia does ask about the snowflake pendant, if you were able to procure that.
And do I really want to let her know that I did?
Well, that is your call.
Yes, we acquired the pendant. The question is, why would I give it to you?
Well, I have a buyer that has asked upon its return.
And who is the buyer?
No, things like that don't work like that.
Well, I also know that without that information, I would not be willing to hand over such a precious item at any price.
Well, I can let you know the buyer. Don't know that you will know the buyer.
Surprise me.
Boo.
He said surprise, not scare.
Oh. Well, I don't know. You jump out, you say boo, right? The
Maybe
buyer
I'll
of
surprise you.
A surprise would be like, I'm pregnant.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, it would. He
That
wouldn't
would be a
care.
surprise if I was
Right.
pregnant.
The buyer, she says, is a lady by the name of Isabella Harrock.
Okay, I don't believe I know that person, but
Well, I would
are
be
they
surprised
buying
if
it?
you did.
Are they buying it for someone else?
No, I believe it is for her.
Okay, what would be her plans for use of the item?
Personal plans, I would assume. I
Uh,
don't ask why they want an item. I only ask for how much they want that item for.
I know too many evil people in this world. That's why I ask. I've met people I would not want to acquire items of that nature. So I feel that it should behooves me to inquire as to why they would want such an item.
Well, I suppose if you want to take the item to her. I could give you a writ.
Okay, what's the price that she is willing to pay for this item?
Well, I do believe the contract was for 200.
I am thinking that we went through more than 200 worth of effort to acquire this. And the fact is it's going to be divided among multiple people because multiple people worked hard to get this item.
Well, that is a discussion for her, I suppose.
Okay, well, direct me to where she is, and I shall go, and she can make sure you get your cut, or I can make sure, because I'm sure there's a pass-through fee. Nobody does anything for free.
Well, of course not. I can send word to her to she will meet in Bedrove. Bodrove? Is it B-O? B-O-D-R-O-V. Bodrove.
Okay.
It's pretty far north. But I can get word to her that I will send somebody in my stead.
Okay. Trying to look
And
on the
let her
map
know
to see where. Is that on the map?
it could be, it should be. It's north.
Oh, I see it.
Um,
Yeah, I see
okay.
it now.
All right.
North of the Dark Hills.
Yep. And I will let her know that it could be delayed.
Yes, it could be, but it might not be. Let's
All
find
right.
out.
Okay. Well, she'll pull out a parchment and she'll write on it. You recognize what she's writing. She's basically stating that you're representing her on this specific deal kind of thing. And she folds it up, stamps it, hands it to you.
All right.
And
I will go to. I will take the parchment. I will say I will return, and I'm going to go to the magician who has sent the party
okay.
onto where they were going,
Okay.
and ask him if he can do me a quick round trip to Bodrov.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna head up to
And
Bodrov.
how much would that cost me?
Um, I will give it to you for 10 gold.
Okay, and I will pay that 10 gold, but I will add it, of course, to whatever price I'm expecting on this
This is the fee.
journey.
And room and board and this.
Yeah. Well, being I'm going to get there really quick, there probably is not going to be any room and board.
Well, that's true. All right.
So I will then teleport to Bodrov,
All right.
and I will inquire after the lady. Now I can't remember her name.
Isabella. Isabella
Isabella
Harak.
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 Johnny comes marching home again. Harak.
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 Okay. And so I will ask after Isabella Harak in Bodrov and try to arrange a quick meeting with her.
I have to find Bodrov. I really hate that, like, I don't have an index in here.
Ah,
Which really
you know where
sucks.
Navarine area is?
Well, I know where Navarine area is.
It's right in that area.
Aha!
Between that and the
Bodrov.
Westwood.
All right. I found it. All right. You get teleported into Bodrov. You instantly feel the wind blowing around you. And when you look around, you see almost immediately that this entire city is built on top of a plateau.
I thought the wind was because the Westwood sucks, but
As you kind of start to walk around, you notice that this is indeed probably about 500 feet tall for a plateau and about 800 feet across the top.
okay.
Um,
So almost like a mesa or
yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
You will also hear reference that this is also sometimes called Table Rock,
Right.
just because of how it's up there. As you wind your way around a little bit, you will come upon a few people in a nearby tavern that will let you know that Lady Karak can often be seen in the shattered window.
Okay. And can you point me that direction?
Yes, they will give you directions to get there. It's a 10-minute walk.
All right,
When you
proceeding then.
All right. When you
Go
walk
ahead.
up to the shattered window, you realize right away why it's called the shattered window. They have a very beautiful stained glass window up at the above the door. It depicts kind of a sunset over top of the table rock, the plateau. And you see that almost every pane in the stained glass window is just it's spider cracks in almost every pane. None of it is missing, but all of it seems to be broken.
As
So
if
they're just
almost on purpose.
as if on purpose.
I get it.
You walk in and you see right away that this is a nicer tavern. There's not a whole lot of drunkards laying around or anything like that. Um, it stays relatively clean and kept. Uh, when you inquire, they will point toward a back table where you will see a woman dressed in gray robes. She has a symbol etched onto her robes. I can draw it for you. Oh, no, that's
It's
not right.
okay.
I was giving you a clover. It's not a clover. It kind of looks like that. Right there.
Okay. Like two
Etched,
leaves facing opposite directions.
yeah, basically. Um,
A two-leaf clover.
a two-leaf clover. Um, that's etched and or embroidered into her robes. And she is sitting there rather prim and proper. She has a glass of wine in her hand, and she seems to be waiting
I
very
will walk
patiently.
up as if I own the place,
All right.
and I will
Uh,
sit down
she will
because I
say,
learned from watching others.
she will look at you and kind of just measure you up a little bit. So,
I'm
do you have?
priced.
You are.
I understand you're looking for an item,
I am indeed.
and I have an item. In fact, I have the specific item that you are looking for, and I'm here to negotiate the price.
Oh, the price that was offered to Sylvia was
Sylvia
200.
will get her cut, but I think that because the amount of work that went into obtaining this item and also the price of getting here, I think that that price is a lowball offer. And I would like to, how shall we say, negotiate a better price. Or
Oh.
I can just take the item with me and you will never see it.
Make your offer.
I'd like to offer you 410 as a price.
I will counter offer 352. Oh,
420.
410 it is.
I do know how to negotiate. Okay. Uh, and here, let me buy you a drink. And I will
Oh,
order her, not a wine, I will order her an ale.
oh no.
And myself, of course, to
All
seal the
right.
deal.
All right then. Um, she will go ahead and dig into a side pocket of her robes and pull out a pouch that and she'll hand it to you. Just judging by the weight because you've done this before. It's 410
Right.
or at least close enough weight wise to go, yeah, okay, that should be right. You order an ale, she will drink the ale, and every time she takes a drink to like kind of seal this deal, you see that she's holding back that like this is the most nasty thing I have ever put in my mouth.
I thought she might think that, but I'm not going to say anything. But
But she
that
does
was,
her best to
there
choke it
was a
down.
purpose. There was a purpose. It's just to set the tone that says, I want you to know who's actually in charge here.
Well, she attempts to hold her composure. Not very well, mind you, but you pick up on it pretty easily.
Yeah. Perceptive enough.
Yep.
He's not
I
worried
will.
about her keeping her composure.
I'm not. I'm actually looking forward to her losing her mind, which is much more fun. Would you like another?
Oh, yeah, no, I couldn't possibly. I have to travel home.
Okay. Well, I will hand over the amulet, pendant,
All right.
whatever it was. Yeah. And I will, yeah, pendant. That's what I thought. And I will bid her adieu and say, anytime you need something for your collection, password through Lady Evelyn, and I will endeavor to accomplish that task for you. Of course, there'll always be a price, but that's always a negotiable thing to a point.
To a point.
And I will walk out not looking back, as if I have all the confidence that there's going to be no problems on the way
Yep.
out.
And you do not experience any. Matter of fact, just kind of feeling the vibe, you know that instantly she's inspecting this pendant, of course, and she will eventually just kind of tuck it away and wait a while before she leaves, but as is common, and which you would expect.
Not wanting to lose the gold I just acquired, I will make my way back to the point of departure and quickly get back to Thrice.
Right. You make it back to Thrice without too much trouble at all. The whole trip in and of itself was probably about 4 hours, perhaps. You're making 2 teleportation jumps in one day. Roll me a
I know.
constitution check.
I know. Maybe 3 in one day.
Maybe 3 in one day.
Constitution. 22.
Oh gosh, easy
I
peasy.
rolled a natural.
Nice. You take it like a champ. You come back in.
Getting used
And
to this.
yeah, getting used to this. So you go back to Sylvia,
Right.
I'm
I will go
assuming.
back to Sylvia. I will give her what was your promised amount, Sylvia?
200 was the promised amount.
I meant for you, for your pocket.
Oh, for my pocket. I was just gonna take 50 for this one. I've
Okay.
done work with her before.
I will hand Sylvia 50 and say, please remember me when you have business to attend to.
Absolutely.
Okay. Sorry, I'm updating my gold as we go.
It's all right. I'm taking notes for the first time in my
Yeah,
life.
that's okay because yeah, I'm just keeping rather than taking notes, I'm just keeping it updated. And then I will go and rest for the evening before transporting to catch up to the rest of them.
Okay. You have a very uneventful rest. Very peaceful and quiet.
Nobody
Pretty
wants to
nice.
mess with a giant with a boa constrictor or
All right.
bear. Or...
Okay. I'm going to say this is the evening that you're taking your rest, would be the evening that the other 3 are having dinner with at the Trinson house with
Right.
only Doran. Well,
They don't like me there anyway, so
that's not
I
entirely
wonder
true.
why. They don't know me there. It's like the group knows me.
Right. All right.
And then the next morning, I will transport to the location that I was supposed to go to.
Okay. All right. So, panning back to the Trinson house. It is evening. You are having dinner. Is there anything you wish to do before the evening's rest?
I would actually give Dolren the measurements that I had made on the goblet and ask him to get a secondary one made.
You gonna ask Dolrun that, or are you
Or
gonna wait until you see Gavian?
sorry, yeah, Gablin. My bad.
All right.
So, no, I would probably, you know, ask Dolren if he enjoyed hosting the lady when she came, and kind of rib him at that.
Ugh. She's so full of herself.
Yes. Well, she's no longer welcome here, so don't invite her in.
Oh, gladly. You will get no argument from me.
I will intently listen to what Bix talks to this particular brother about.
Right.
Before I make decisions on what to discuss.
It would be nothing heavy. It would just be light banter.
And he will banter back. And it will be casual evening of dinner and rest. If you're not doing anything else, or wish to discuss anything else, or follow anybody to anybody's room, or ask for private conversations or anything of that nature, just let me know. Stop me now.
Stop you now! Once the brother leaves dinner, or as everybody else start to break up, I will follow. Specifically, I will follow Kadath
Unless
to his
Kadath is
quarters.
doing, I was gonna say, unless Kadath is doing anything specific, I'm sure he's headed toward his quarters.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything.
I will follow him to his quarters. And when we're out of earshot, if Fix is not with us, I will use my hearing aid and tell him to go ahead and come to Kadath's quarters.
I was
Because
probably just starting to unpack the forge, and so I leave it where it's at, kind of half unpacked, and I head over.
All right.
And 2-3 minutes later, you hear knock, 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 knock.
Let them in.
and I will ask you to pull out the 2 cards.
I'll go ahead and pull out all of them and just lay them out side by side in order. In the order we found them.
Okay. All right. You lay them out in order. You see the one that's kind of a stormy, darkened sky. You can't even tell if it's day or night because it's just covered in storm. The stormy one, it doesn't look like it's changed at all. The other one, however, another silhouette is starting to become a little bit more detailed in it. Investigation check is fine.
Yeah.
Anybody who's looking at the card can do this.
I'm definitely looking at them.
I was the one that asked to see them.
I mean, I've been kind of invested in these from the beginning, so I only got 8.
Oh, that's okay. I got a
Helps if I roll a d20 and not a d12.
20. Always.
I mean, I could roll my d30 instead.
You have
but
been relegated to always roll a d12. Sorry.
Well, I got 11.
I
Rolled
have
a
a
30
23.
on my unnatural 30. Oh.
A natural 30. um, you got an 11 on your D12 or on your D20?
My D20.
Okay.
I've only got a +1 for investigation.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to clarify.
I got a 23.
All right, you got a 23. Fixing Kadeth, you're looking at it. You're kind of making out a female form. But that's about as much as you can get. You're kind of like, okay, it's changed. It's definitely taking on a little bit more of a female form. It's still silhouetted too much, really, for you to make out too much detail.
And that's the one we think is either comet, star, sun, or moon.
No, this is the one that
No,
was on
this
the
is
back
the
of the door.
ruin.
This is the ruin card.
Okay.
The one that you're not sure is comet, star, sun, or moon. It's a stormy sky. It doesn't
Okay.
appear to have changed.
We haven't gotten any clarity. Got it.
Right. However, Evangeline, when you're looking at the rune card, you pick up a little bit of an outline of what you recognize as the piece of armor that went up the neck.
Oh. Now, do I tell? Do I tell Fix or not tell Fix?
Are you fixing to tell him?
I am
Fixin' to tell 'em.
fixing. I am going to point at the figure, and I'm going to run my finger, just maybe just, my nice manicured nail, um, along that spine. That's the one we're talking about, right?
Mhm.
Of what appears to be Lady Guerra's armor.
I'll take out a piece of paper, my drafting paper or whatever, and I will copy what I see on the card and add as if that was her, like her silhouette or whatnot. Like add the details that I know of the armor and everything for us to get a better picture of it and a better imagination of it. See if it actually fits and things like that. Make sure, since I did study the armor quite extensively.
You did.
In relationship to Kadath's silhouette, where is this figure standing? I guess it's possible there's more than one of these armors, but I don't think there will be.
She is standing like in the whole battlefield. You see kind of Kadeth over here, kind of on the horizon. Silhouette wise, the horizon kind of meets him at about mid thigh ish, is kind of where you see him on the horizon. Along the horizon, you see the horizon hit her about waist high.
So she's more in the foreground.
She's more in the foreground, or appears to be. Um, and the way they're both positioned, she seems to be approaching Kadeth, whose back is turned. Just kind of the way they're positioned.
Watch your back, Kadeth.
You know, what time is it?
It's getting pretty late. I'd say it's probably
you,
9-ish,
you tell us what time it is.
10-ish.
Yeah,
Okay.
You're the
you're the
time
Yeah,
thief.
you're the
Is
timekeeper
there
here.
is there a local fortune teller in Key?
In Key? Oh yeah.
I have an
and
idea.
you
One,
would know them.
one who's real and not a fake.
Well,
Few
yeah.
fakes, but yes, there's one that seems to be on the DL. She's the real deal. Like she does a lot of fake stuff, but just to entertain and appease, like somebody comes, "Oh yeah, you're going to find love, honey." You know. But no, on the DL when somebody's really looking for something, they go to her. They recommend her.
I have an idea, guys. If you're open to, I think we should have a discussion with Madam
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 Giselle.
Gooch.
Madam Giselle.
Madam Mim. Oh,
Mad,
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 Madam
Madam
Mim.
Madam Giselle. Madam Giselle.
Mad, mad, mad,
Perhaps
Madam
she
Peachy.
has a set of tarot cards that we can purchase that will help us better know what these cards may come to be.
or at least she might know where to get some that are more similar to this.
Perhaps, but I don't know that we're going to find a set with you in them. I think these are kind of custom by the
Oh, yes,
gods.
yes, but we may be able to find a set that
But
is
we do
Similar.
as
have
old.
3 that are complete
Hmm.
to start with.
Yeah. So,
4.
Or
Dungeon, Balance, Rogue, and Talon.
oh,
okay.
I keep forgetting about the Talon.
Does she?
4 complete, 2 incomplete.
Yeah. Well, then, how about we head over?
Sure.
And if I'm not mistaken, the thief card was looking like Kosha. However, when it was complete, Kosha's image faded into just an image,
Yeah, it was more generic,
more generic.
less specific at that point. So, which could happen with the one that I'm in.
Correct. Okay. So,
If we can find one that looks like these cards,
Yeah.
a set that looks like these cards, that would be even better.
yeah. Okay. So, I look around and wait for Kadath to put them away and then head out.
Yeah.
Right.
Follow.
Right. So you're gonna do that this night.
Yes.
All right. To get to Madame Giselle's, you do have to cross into the lower portion of Key, the southern portion of Key. I kind of got to specify because there's an upper city, a lower city, and then there's the southern portion. You have to cross into the southern portion of Key. You find Madame Giselle's place of business almost right around the corner from the tavern that you like to meet Gidna at. And outside, it just says fortune teller, is what the outside of her business says. Madame Giselle's fortune teller. And you walk in. The business is open. That doesn't seem to be very busy.
Oh, it's
Um,
open.
yeah, it's open.
Darn, I was gonna
And
walk up and like hover my hand over the door, waiting for her to open it. If she's a real fortune
oh well, it's not open. I mean,
Okay.
the door is closed, but
He's
her
gonna tell
business is
you.
open.
He's going to the door and going,
Are you really?
No, if it's open, like I can open the door and not
You
get
can open the
shot
door.
with
Yeah.
a spell or something, then I'll go
Okay.
ahead and just walk in.
Okay. So you walk in. Um, inside, it's very. It feels very small. It's fairly dark. There are several chairs kind of scattered around the room. There seems to be kind of a curtain to a further back area. There is a small table in the center of this room. Um, After you kind of walk in and you just kind of look around, it's almost like nobody's here. Um,
well, you know what I'm gonna do.
you're gonna detect magic.
I'm gonna cast see invisibility.
Oh,
Detect
Okay,
magic
I'm
is
gonna
detect
detect
magic is
magic.
Kadesh.
I'm
right.
gonna detect
Flip with you.
magic, and I'm
I'm gonna sit
gonna
in the
keep it
middle of her
going.
floor and do a ritual spell.
Okay. All right.
I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna sit down, like pull out a chair and sit.
Okay. You said. All right. Detect magic and see invisibility. You're both gonna catch some things. With your see invisibility, you are going to see a small creature kind of up in a corner. It looks like a tiny devilish winged creature, player knowledge, an imp. Sitting up in one corner. It seems to be dark in color. You're also going to see up in another corner a very smooth stone. It's almost like a hemisphere, a semisphere. It's very smooth up in one corner, kind of encapsulating the corner, but it bows outward. Kadeth, you are also going to sense the invisibility, or you're going to sense that magic surrounding the imp-like creature up there, and you're going to sense you sense illusion on one and abjuration on the other. In the other corner, you're sensing the abjuration, or you're seeing the abjuration. And you sense magic deeper within the building. But that's the only two magic things that you actually see here in this room.
And that's smooth stone that's invisible in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have any idea what that might be?
Roll me Arcana. No, you don't know anything. What did you roll?
I rolled a 12. I mean.
Oh, well, roll. What's your Arcana? I know your Arcana's pretty high.
Actually, I rolled a 4 for a 12.
Oh. The only thing you can kind of figure that you can liken it to is something similar to the scry orb that you had seen in at the ball. That's about the only thing you can kind of liken it to, although it seems to be fixed. It doesn't seem to be floating. So
it doesn't really surprise me in a
shop.
In this particular kind of an establishment.
Yeah.
After a little bit of time, you will hear shuffling steps. It's almost scooting steps, heading out. And as she kind of breaks open the curtain, you will see definitely an older human female, hunched over. She seems to be walking with a cane. She barely picks up her feet. She just kind of shuffles. Long gray hair, braided in several braids, some of them pulled back to stay out of her face. She seems to be wearing long robes that have been hemmed so that she doesn't trip over them. And they seem to be multicolored, like multicolored strips of fabric that have been sewn together. And she kind of shuffles out and she kind of looks at you. She looks at everybody. Did you find what you're looking for?
Oh, I haven't looked around your shop yet.
Oh,
I
but I
thought that would
know.
be rude.
But I know some of you have.
Well, they looked at stuff, but not for what we're looking for. They just wanted to make sure that. Well, I don't know. Did you guys find anything that we should be concerned with?
Nothing I wasn't expecting.
What are you looking for? If you haven't found what you're looking for.
A deck of cards, tarot cards to be exact.
And
Not
I'll
really
actually
looking for the creature in the corner.
I'll actually pull out the 4 complete ones of Dungeon, Balance, Rogue, and Talon.
Specifically a set that matches this.
This is a very unique set. Where you only have the 4? You don't have a complete set?
Not yet.
She kind
No,
of starts
ma'am.
to turn around. And she shuffles over to what looks like
I
a bookshelf.
respect my elders and I will say no, ma'am.
Not yet, at least.
Not yet. Okay. And she kind of shuffles through some papers and shifts some books and whatnot on her shelf. And then she pulls out a book. The book she pulls out, you've never seen a book quite so tiny. She pulled out a book. It's got to be like this big, almost like 2-inch book that's about 1.5 inches thick. And she pulls out this teeny tiny book and she walks over to the table and she sets it down. At some point while she's moving around this room, right? As she's moving around this room, you get a little like, okay, I could pick you up and carry you faster than you can get there. She sets the book down and she opens it up and she taps it with her hand and it expands. You see it expand. And you see on the book itself, you see the back of the cards that you have. There's a picture of the back of those cards. She says, these cards in old second age? No, probably more third age. They used
That
to
sounds
hold
about
these
right.
cards in a nice little pouch, and you could just pick one and just go on the adventure of your life with just one card. Haven't seen one of those in a very, very long time. She taps the book, closes it.
There's
When you say
certainly been
they,
adventure involved in these cards.
yeah. Who used to be the provider of these cards and adventures?
Oh, many a mage is, well, maybe not many. Very powerful mages, of which maybe has 2, has made such cards. It takes a very long time to make a deck like that.
Do you
But
have
you have
any of their names?
4 of them. You have 4 cards.
Yes.
Do you have any pictures of the fronts of those cards?
Oh yeah. And she turns back around, goes back to the.
Evangeline's getting impatient.
She pulls out a box, seemingly out of nowhere. She pulls out a box and she kind of shuffles back over to the table and she sets it down and she opens it up and she pulls out a pouch of leather. She opens it up. She pulls out the cards. She has a full deck of cards in her hand. She pulls out all the cards. She lays them down and she fans them out. It is, you pick out 4 of them immediately that look identical to the 4 that you have. She fans them out. She says, this is a full deck. It is not imbued with magic. It is just a replica. I don't have the power to imbue these cards.
I just look at Fix. like,
May I look through these?
Are you kidding me?
Yes, of course.
And
Are
I'm gonna
any of you gifted with foresight?
start sorting through them
No,
and
he's
see
not
if I
here
can
right now.
find.
He's in Thrice.
Sorry, Chuck, what were you saying?
I'm gonna start sorting through them and see if, and basically look for the ruins, the comet, the star, the sun, and the moon.
Okay. All right. You start sifting through. You find the ruin card. That one's pretty easy to pick out. Well, so is the sun, star, moon, and those. They're all very easy to pick out. They're very obvious looking cards. The ruin card, you find it has. It's a battlefield on here.
Right.
You see it is a field of red. With a deep orange, almost sunset. There
Does
are
it look
some.
like the door was
It look.
originally?
Yes, it does. It looks like how the door looked originally.
Mm.
Field of red. There is a silhouetted individual way back in the back that you can't really, it's real tiny. You can't really make out any detail of that silhouetted individual. But you can tell that there are several dead drawn on this card. It is a field of battle. There are dead people, broken weapons, armor. Uh, it's a field of red. It's nearly completely covered in blood, is what you're figuring. And that's what it looks like. The sun, moon, star, and the comet looks exactly as you would expect them to. They have the sun, they have a moon, they have a star, and a comet across the night sky.
Madam Giselle, what
So, looking
would you
at
be
the
willing?
ruins one, and thinking back to, since we were just looking at ours, did it seem like the image of me was fading toward the background, like this one, like this silhouette seems to be?
Very similar. It's very
Like,
similar.
did it get further away in the picture, essentially, from the last time we had looked at it?
Yes, it did.
Okay. Okay. That gives
Madam
me a
G-
better idea of what to look for completing it.
Madam Giselle, would you be willing to part with this set, this
Oh,
replica?
that is the only one I've ever seen until you brought some in. She will. Well, you're still looking at them. She ain't gonna fold them up.
Yeah.
Hold on.
And I want to kind of study the other four that we think might match the one and see which one seems to be the closest.
For the sun, moon, star, or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Roll me an investigation.
I'll pull those four out and kind of set them next to each other and
Okay.
just give a knowing glance at Evangeline.
Would you like me to roll an investigation?
I got a 15.
That would be a dirty 20.
Nice. All right. Between the two of you, you kind of are whispering back and forth a little bit, pointing at various things. After you kind of finagle it just a little bit, you believe that the one that's stormy is actually the sun card. Madame Gisela looks at you.
Don't know why there's
If
no sun up in the sky, stormy weather.
if you must know, madam, the reason that we've not gotten a full deck is these cards are being gifted to us by the gods to fulfill some task. And I
And they're
think that
not
would
playing
be
with a full deck.
I think it would be beneficial to us
Or
if we
some
had a
other unknown source.
it would be beneficial to us to have a full deck to reference what we're working on rather than just guessing on what they should be before they are
You have a
complete.
photocopier. Oh.
Photocopier. No. Uh, she said, I would be willing to give them to you.
I would
Unknown. I don't
okay.
use these for my reading. I keep these tucked away. Because they are unique. And I thought maybe I had the only deck, but apparently these gods have other plans.
And
Well,
since she seems to be willing, it like she doesn't seem to be asking a price for this, right?
No.
In that case, I'm gonna because I was debating whether to do it. I'm gonna go ahead and pull out the other two cards,
Okay. She
and I'll lay them next
raises an eyebrow.
to. I'll
Lay
lay
them
them
face
next
down.
to face down.
Yeah, that way she can see the back of them.
Oh yeah, I'll go ahead and put them face down, but I'm going to put them next to the ones that they match, basically.
She'll know what to do with them.
Interesting.
So they're face down, just next to the ruins and the sun.
All right. She will look at them, and she will kind of put her hand out ever so slowly over top of the first one. Let's see. The ruin. She will put her hand over top of the ruin card, and her eyes will almost go black, just gone. And she stands there for a good 2 minutes. Yeah, you almost get a little nervous, like, did we lose her?
Well, my detect magic's still going, so.
Oh, you see magic just flying all over her.
Yeah, okay, I figured.
And she pulls away her hand rather quickly, almost like she got shocked or bit. Evangeline, you recognize this.
Does it feel like the orb? Or does it look like it feels like the orb?
Yes, it did. And she pulls her hand back. She's like, oh, that one's gonna hurt. Just, she puts her hand over the other one.
Brave woman.
And she does, she goes all out again. And then as she's watching this one, she kind of smiles, and she pulls her hand back, not so quickly this time. She pulls her hand back.
Who's the first person she looks at?
She's gonna. She doesn't look at anybody. When she pulled her hand away from the first one, she really looked at Kadeth. It's like, oh, that one's gonna hurt. The second one, she pulls away, and she doesn't look at nobody in particular. She's kind of looking at all three of you. And she says, this one comes first.
Interesting.
The one you'll need to complete this task is not with you.
He had a personal matter to attend to.
But it is good to know, assuming we're speaking of the right person, that he'll be the one to solve this particular one.
Yeah.
I believe I know why the other one might hurt.
Yeah, this one comes first because it'll make the other one easier.
Well, if it has to do with the person we think it has to do with, everything dealing with that person hurts.
And I'll tell her, I mean, because they're still face down at this point, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell her, feel free to flip those cards over and see what we are dealing with, what we are seeing at any given time.
You see her hesitate. I'm not sure that these are meant for me. She will go to the one that didn't bite her. And she will flip it over. Says, oh, the skies are gray. Evil clouds this card. This should be the sun. And she'll lay it down. The other one, she's kind of, she kind of picks it up, turns it over and lays it down. She like doesn't want to touch it for too long. Just lays it down. It's like she leans over it again. This is interesting. It's as if it's portraying a scene. It's playing out. Do the other one first. Matter of fact, there may be more to come.
Assuming we can figure out exactly what to do for the other one. So far, and I'll point to the other 4 and just give her a basic idea of the things we've dealt with just to try and solve them, and relay to her the fact that we had no idea what we're doing most of the time, and we're just guessing.
She will pull together her deck that she's going to let you loan. She's going to pull together her deck. And she's going to shuffle it. And as she shuffles it, she will flip out a card. And what falls down is the Fates.
What?
The Fates card.
Fates.
Yep. And she says, "You are fated to take care of this." The Fates, themselves a god, will ensure the path that you walk. Success is totally dependent upon you, though. Guidance will come when it is necessary. You have the pieces you need to at least do the first one. And she'll pick that one up. She'll pick up the Fates card, put it back into the deck, and set the deck down.
I thank you.
I'll
I'll kind
furrow
of
my
motion.
brows.
I will kind of motion to the deck and ask, may I? Do you have a case to keep these in?
She points inside the box. It's the little leather pouch she pulled them out of.
Okay, yeah, I'll take that. I'll put them back gently. I'll actually arrange them so that the ones that we've done and the 2 that we're working on now are kind of at the front, so we don't have to dig back through it the whole time, every time. And I'll put it back um, in the leather case, and I'll hand it to Evangeline and just say, "Keep this safe, please."
Do you want me to keep it with the rest of them, with the others?
Something
Or
tells me no.
would you prefer to keep them separate, just
I
in
want to
case?
keep them separate.
Oh. So you're giving me
Her
replicated deck
Yeah.
Right, her deck.
and the ones that are completed,
No,
No.
the
no,
2 that
just
aren't completed.
Well,
no,
you've got
just
her
you just have
entire deck.
the replicated
Okay.
deck. Yeah.
I just have the replicated deck.
Yeah.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
I'll
I
He
will
just
hold on
organized
to our
the cards a little bit.
I will take that bag of replicated cards and I will put them in my
The
pocket.
one without, yeah, the one without the thing.
The one without the thing.
Put them in the other
I will
pocket.
put them in my pocket because the other thing is in my pouch.
Okay.
Your friend will be rejoining you shortly.
Hopefully.
Yes.
I have not heard, we have not heard otherwise.
I believe he himself has been gifted a gift that will aid you in that first card.
Let's hope he didn't just sell it. Oh.
Should you need guidance or wisdom, you are welcome to come and see me again.
I can
Much
almost
appreciated.
guarantee that you can expect us to stop by occasionally.
I do hope to see you again. I mean, I did just give you my deck on loan.
Oh, absolutely. And as we find more cards, we may stop by occasionally at least.
Very well.
So this is just Joe being paranoid from our last campaign. Part of me wants to ask her if she's got two sisters.
Yeah.
Oh yes, one's really old
Why,
and the
yes.
other one, or one's middle aged, the other one's really young.
One's still a child.
I
They're
will
really
ask her
just
about
versions of me.
personal readings.
Why, yes, I could give you a personal reading. Do you wish to have one?
Oh, why the heck not?
All right, then. I don't have that up.
See if I
I
can
was
learn
not
something
expecting
about
this.
myself. Oh.
All right. She will take another a deck of her own, and oh gosh, you're making me do work. Good heavens, what have I done to you people to deserve this? Ah!
Be prepared for all scenarios. I tried to think of all the different aspects I could tell you to be prepared for on Tuesday night. I didn't think Joe would take us to a fortune teller.
I wasn't expecting this, that's for sure. I'm kind of glad we went.
Oh, okay.
It was a good thought, Joe.
Oh dear
I would have
me.
never thought of it.
I had one of these at one point, and I don't know what I did with it. Oops, that doesn't work. Oh dear me. Let me see if I can find my thing. Nope. You'll just have to give me a moment. Don't talk amongst yourselves. Let's see. It is not under that. I had hoped it was under that.
While she digs out her tarot deck that she actually does readings with, um, I will
Good thing I
just
made
kind
it a
of
multiple reading.
peruse around.
All right.
And see if there's anything that I find interesting.
Not in there. There's not much actually in her shop. There are some, you know, crystals and tiny crystal balls and some tarot decks and whatnot that are all for sale, of course. But thought for sure I had it in here. Apparently I do not. Because I dug all this up.
I was gonna say
Think,
you
think,
had
think.
some of this. You had all this stuff put
I
out when
did.
you were building.
I did. Do 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 do. Okay, here we go. All right, I found it. All right. Oh no, this isn't the right card. Okay. She will shuffle the deck. Oh no, just ignore that. Okay. She shuffles the deck. And she kind of clears away her table a little bit. She says, "Come, come." And you have a seat in front of her. Go ahead and roll me a d20.
20. I rolled a natural 20.
A natural 20. Great. The first card that she pulls out, she lays it out, and there is a woman on this card, and she seems to be holding scales. There is a sword that seems to be pointing to her left. On the bottom of the card, it says justice. Roll me another d20.
Natural 1.
Oh, this could be bad.
She pulls out the next card and lays it to the left of the justice, where the sword is looking at that, and you see on this card when she pulls it out, it is actually upside down when she lays it down, and it looks like a noble with a crown, dressed in fine robes. Down at the bottom of it, it says, well, at the top of it at this point, because it's upside down, it says the Emperor.
We're going to kill the king.
You're going to kill the
Come,
king.
D'Artagnan, we're going to kill the king. Oh, wait.
Roll me another d20.
13.
All right. To the right of Justice, also right side up, she flips over another card, which is a woman in blue robes, holding a staff. There seems to be sunbeams behind her, and behind it, it says the priestess, or underneath it's entitled the priestess. She pulls out those 3 cards. And she looks at those 3 cards, and she starts at the middle one, and it says, justice has been found. It will be wielded, though not by you. However, you will help to restore balance. The one who wields justice, the sword, will take out the ruler, as she points to the upside down emperor. Will take out the ruler. She kind of pauses at that card. It's like, I don't believe this is actually in reference to any physical rulers in the steadfast or in the ninth world. There is another ruler, a secret ruler. He's upside down. It is hidden. That is who will be taken out. On the other side is the priestess. I believe that when the balance is restored, the ruler will be removed. She pushes over to the ruler side, and a new priesthood will be established. I believe you will take part in all these things.
Hmm. Thank you.
I'm trying to remember. Did I learn recently about my sword?
You did recently learn about your
What
sword.
was the name of it?
You have the sword of justice.
You have the sword of justice.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, wait a minute. Just because I somehow trust this lady, I don't know why. I'm gonna summon my sword. A non-threatening manner, and I'll actually hold it, sideways, hold it on my hand flat,
Right, right.
and look at the cards that she just laid out, and look back at her. You said something about a sword named Justice.
Well, I didn't. There's a sword on the card. I didn't specifically call the sword justice, but I did say justice would be wielded. Is that
Name
the
of the
name of this
card.
sword?
The name of the card is Justice.
Right, but there's a
Yeah.
sword.
There's a
There is a
sword
sword
on
on
it.
it.
And you did say justice would be wielded.
I did indeed.
I
Is
did not
this
name this sword. This sword is much older than any of us, possibly older than even the cards that we have.
interesting?
But it is called, I've learned recently that it is called justice.
Interesting. Well, hopefully soon you will make known that which is hidden. The Emperor.
I tend
That
to
is it.
wonder if this refers to something relating to the gods at this point.
Could be.
And I'll go ahead and put my sword away.
Well, she pulls all her cards back together, shovels them back up. It has been most enlightening.
Yes, much more than I was expecting.
I'm rolling a sleight of hand
Okay.
for an 18.
Okay.
Somewhere, I'm just going to drop very stealthily 5 gold.
Okay. I was like, what are we doing?
I'm not taking anything.
Give her the cards.
I'm
For
going to
me.
steal her cards right out of her hand.
So
I'm not a
Force
thief.
Knife do that.
Unless I have to take something.
No, no. So you carefully deposit 5 gold, like up on her counter or something, just
Right. I don't
I
want to make a
nobody's really paying
big
attention.
show on it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
Charlie
kind
Brown
of
and Lucy, 5 cents, please.
Right.
I'm kind of looking back and forth between the lady and Kadath a moment. And I look at her and look at Kadath and Evangeline and says, "Do we have time for another reading?"
Certainly. I have nowhere pressing to be other than eventually to bed.
Be a curious bunch.
Do you have time for another reading? I know.
Because Joe said that looks like fun.
No,
Alright.
no. Fix said, "Is Kadath gonna kill my mother?"
Is that what Fix is thinking?
So you're gonna
No, I
you're
didn't even think
thinking this.
about that. That's a good point.
I mean, I don't plan on it, but
Well, we haven't planned on anything that we've been doing here.
very true.
You
I
haven't.
have a feeling that would be a very difficult task, anyways.
All right then. You want to know if Kadath will kill your mother, huh?
No, that's not my question, actually.
No, but
Though
that's
if
what
I
you're
find
thinking.
if that's something I find out in the process of such, okay. But more,
Well,
my question
if he
is,
is gonna do it, apparently I'm gonna help him.
right, and Evangeline already told Fix that she doesn't trust his mom. So it's not outside the realm of possibilities at this point.
This is true.
No. But no, what I will ask is, are my current aspirations in vain?
Interesting. All right.
And he will say that out loud, though he hasn't discussed his aspirations with any of the group.
All right.
I'll give you the Spock eyebrow.
Hmm.
All right. Roll me a d20.
Uh, God, if I could read. 7.
All right. All right. She will shuffle the cards and she will pull out the first card. It is upside down. It shows 4 goblets, 2 stacked upon 2, and they are, of course, upside down. She says, 4 cups. The 4 of cups. Interesting. Uh, this is usually representative of family and doesn't always, rarely, shows up upside down. She'll, she will.
Well, if you knew my family. Oh.
Not surprising with your family.
uh, go ahead and roll me another d20.
17.
17. She will pull out, um, and it is right side up, a card that looks like it has 3 swords that are crisscrossed on the top, and then 2 swords on the bottom that seem to be parallel. They are not crossing. Um, Swords that some kinds sometimes can mean animosity or danger. I get the feeling from this one that it is actually support. You will have support. She will pull another card. Roll me another d20.
19.
19. You will kind of take back a little bit. She's not really sure what to make of it. She pulls out the card, and it's a gesture, or the Fool. And she lays it down, and it is right side up. So the only one that was upside down was the 4 cups. She's like, this is interesting. This rarely comes up when the other 2 cards come up. Usually the Fool is mixed among other titles per se, not necessarily the Cups and Swords. If I'm reading this correctly, something is going to go awry, causing the cups to overturn. The 5 swords are going to be those that pick up those pieces, 3 of which are going to come out on top. They're going to be the strength, the strength of 3. 3 is very strong. The 2 beneath are going to be supporters, but not leaders. The Fool adds an interesting mix to this. The Fool is most likely going to be your supporter behind the scenes, hidden. Most of the time when the Fool comes up, it's a usually someone who has one presentation but has ulterior motives or workings behind the scenes that most do not know of. Hence the presentation of the Fool. If you look like a fool, no one will expect otherwise. You will have the Fool in your corner. They will be your support. Does this answer your question?
I look at the cards, I look at the lady, and then I look at Evangeline, and I say, I was right about her. If I'm understanding this correctly, I was right about her. And then I look back to her and I say, I think so. Thank you.
Pulls up her cards, shuffles them, sets them down. It's about the
Because
only fast action you ever see her do is
right? And I say that to Evangeline because if I remember correctly, Evangeline was there when he was questioning about it, about his sister and her act.
Yes.
You've given me a lot to think about. Thank you. And I'll look at Kadath and be like, are you going to get a reading now?
And I'm gonna pause for like almost a full minute before answering.
Do it. Oh.
Don't give in to peer pressure.
I don't know that it's necessarily the right time for me. I've been given a lot of answers that I was looking for already, and I think more may just muddy the situation. But I may at a later date.
The door is open. It is not ajar.
The door is ajar.
Door.
No.
Stupid car. Doesn't know the difference between a door and a jar.
All right, then. Well, if I have answered all your questions, she'll pick up the tarot deck, turn slowly. Have a good day. She'll start to head back toward the back of her shop, shuffling.
Very interesting. Shall we head back now?
Sure.
Absolutely.
You head back to the Trinson house, find yourselves in your rooms, pull out the forge, work a little bit, tinker a little bit, do your evening routines, and find yourself.
I'm gonna get out my nice new tool set.
Yeah, your nice new tool set.
Was my
Um,
armor ever delivered?
How long did they tell you that it was gonna be? Oh, you've
I
been
don't.
gone for a little while though.
We've been
So
gone
yeah,
for a couple weeks.
yeah, they would have delivered your armor, knowing you are of the Trinson resident. Probably the next morning. Honestly, they wouldn't do it in the middle of the night, but probably the next morning.
Okay. Then I will go to sleep after I'm done forging.
Alrighty.
And at this point, what I'm doing is I'm taking the little bits of obtainium that I've procured and forging them into ingots
All
for
right.
later projects.
and Evangelina is working on TTC, and she is making meticulous drawings and measurements on that parchment that Fix gave her. So that she can give him a list of everything she's in need of.
All right. All right. You guys have an uneventful evening. It is restful. You're going to get any spells or anything you've used. They're going to get those back up. As well as you, Forsyth, you're going to have a restful evening, be able to replenish any spells you may have used. And in the morning, you will know that Key is the best place to go because you have an auction coming up, which you have had time with this work with Sylvia to have spread the word and garnered some interest. And you're hoping to pick up a couple of things, pick up a couple of ears,
Right.
basically. So, all right. So in the morning, you'll be able to travel to Key. But for now, we're going to take a bio break because I need one. I'm starting to wiggle a lot.
Agreed. We will be right back.
All right. I'm going to go.
Well, let's get ready because we're back.
Hey, all right. Welcome back. All right. So, you guys have had an evening rest. Morning has broken. And
Like first morning.
I was just singing that in my head.
I can always count on you.
I'm like a thumb, right? You can count on me, but it's always going to be the same number.
It's always going to be the same number. um, Forsyth, you get up, you get yourself prepared, you head out to Key. You're going to teleport to Key.
Right.
Because you know that's where the auction, you guys have discussed having the auction there. So you head out to Key. The three of you in the Trenson house wake up to breakfast smelling wonderful. And though Dolren was the only one that was in the house before you went to bed, it seems like quite a few family members are there now. Minus Gidna and Bruman. Gidna and Bruman are missing at the moment. But everybody else seems to be there.
Are they like all at the breakfast table when we come down?
Yep.
Because I figure after adventuring for months together, we are all kind of on the same biological clock of waking up at a similar hour.
Pretty much, yeah.
Our cycles have synced.
Yes, yes.
I have an uncle who had 4 daughters or 3 daughters and his wife, and he said that's a fallacy. Cycles do not sync unless they sync to follow one another.
You can't escape it then.
Nope.
No.
All right.
Then I kind of stop and look around and then smile and wave at everyone and walk on over to the table and start grabbing food and take a seat.
They all seem to be in relatively high spirits. All things considered. Morning. They're talking.
I will fix my
No
plates
dishes are flying.
and sit down and reach into my pocket and pull out a piece of parchment and slide it over across in front of Fix.
I'll
All right.
pull it out and start looking at it while I'm eating a sausage or something. Kind of like have it stuck on a fork as I set it, move my plate to the side, spread out the parchment, and I'm eating a piece of sausage as I'm looking at it.
It is a meticulously drawn blueprint of TTC.
And do you want
Meticulous
this?
it is.
Do you want
and I
this
will
made out of
say,
just regular metal or obtanium? Have you prototyped it yet?
have not. We should prototype it first.
Okay, I'll start with regular metal, and then if everything works, we can go to obtanium.
Am I in the
Sounds like
room yet?
excellent idea.
You head to the Trinson residence first.
Yeah.
All right. You head up to the Trinson residence. You're gonna run into one of the servants at the running around the estate or whatever. They will recognize you, and they'll say, "Oh, is Kofik expecting you back here?"
Of course he is.
Very well. I believe they just made their way to breakfast.
All right. Well, I'm hungry.
She will
Perfect timing.
let you in. Perfect timing.
As I sit down with the others, I will say, well, I got a little more for that amulet pendant thing than Evelyn was expecting.
Oh.
So, so here's 75 each.
Wow.
Nice.
Well, thank you.
Have you
Very
turned
nice.
over a new leaf?
I don't know. Was there a leaf that was upside down?
No, but there were a lot of upside down cards.
Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Let me tell you the ways.
I kind of look around a bit. I says, "We'll fill you in later."
Okay.
Um, are you carrying your pack and everything?
Well, I would have everything with me. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, if you'd like, we did have a room made up for you if you want to put your stuff down. But
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Yeah,
So,
servant will show you the room if you want to drop your stuff off,
right.
or you can stay there and eat. That's fine too.
yeah, either way, just
That's
offering
up to
like
you.
you're carrying a
Well,
bunch of stuff.
yeah. Well, I'll eat first, then I'll get rid of
Okay.
the stuff because let's face it, priorities.
Well, of
Being from the
course.
street, you eat first.
Okay.
Right.
Then I'll fold up the parchment and put it in my pocket to start working on it later. Or I'll look to my mother and just be like, "So how was your trip?"
Successful.
Hmm.
Getting us there. Finishing the final touches.
Well, that's good to hear.
All is set. Now it's just a matter of time. Which hopefully will be sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I would really like to go back sometime.
Very interesting city, is it not?
As would I.
I mean, it's Gone City.
I'll take your word for that. I don't know much about Gond.
He takes a breath and then he's like, "No, no, not going to."
And Evangeline goes, "What?"
Without an invitation.
Ah.
um. Oh, I got a little bit of feedback there.
Yeah.
Let's see. I got to check something. Dang it, where is it?
Checks
Uh,
are out. Can you polka dot it?
looking around, is Lily in there?
Yeah, she is. Eating ever so daintily. Just listening to everybody talk.
I'll look at her and I'll just be like, "So, we missed you the last couple of days. Where have you been?"
I've been entertaining. She
That
kind of half
sounds
rolls her eyes.
that sounds horrendous.
It is my life.
Hmm. You'll have to bore me with the story sometime.
Yeah, you bored you will be. I mean, you get to go off an adventure and see places and do things, and I have to schmooze. She kind of gives you that like.
We'll tell you what. The next time I plan a clandestine trip into town, I will invite you with. Or I'll just go back to eating. Though I will note if any of my siblings react to my sudden interest in my sister.
Um, Gavian doesn't be paying attention at all. He's well, he doesn't appear to be paying. He could very well be paying attention, but he doesn't
Right.
appear to be paying attention at all. Um, Dolred does get peaked a little bit. Like, who wants to know about like socialites? I mean, come on, this is like this is boring. I'd much rather be running around doing mom's business. You know, he kind of is peaked a little bit. Um, your dad takes a little bit of an interest. And it's almost a hopeful interest. As most parents of siblings want their children to get along.
Either that or take it outside.
Yeah, take it outside. Um, so it's a little bit of that hopeful interest. Your mother is food, makes conversation if somebody talks to her. After a little bit, she's gonna stand up and head out.
As she's getting up to leave, I'll look at her and say, I'll start to say something. I'll be like, I'll look around and be like, we'll talk later.
Likely will be you'll find me in my office. And she'll walk out. After a little bit, Doran's gonna get up and leave. Lillian is gonna get up and leave. Liliana? Lily, I don't remember what I named her. Lily is gonna, get
Yeah,
up and
that
leave.
that works. He'll start calling her Lily from now on. Her name is Lillian, but he'll start calling her Lily.
Okay. she'll head up. She'll get out of there and to where it's really only Gavian left after a little bit. And when he realizes everybody else is left, he'll kind of come over. Be like, so I've spread the word around Key.
Okay.
People seem to be somewhat excited about this. I think you're gonna get some big players here. Just be forewarned.
When did
Well,
you
that's
tell?
the,
What did you tell them about when and where to drop their bids?
Gonna drop bids at this place and this time. The Griffin Tavern.
Okay.
It's on the edge of the nicer part of city. Far enough out that unseemly people are not so unwelcomed, but close enough that the upper crust also does not feel unwelcomed. Um, so it gets a very good mixture of crowds. So it's one of the largest taverns in Key. It really
And
is.
when will those
and
be being dropped off?
Uh, at the time of which you told me.
have we
I don't
employed
know.
somebody we trust
Tonight.
to collect them?
I have somebody in mind,
I was gonna say I don't mind to do
and
so.
and I will look at Forsyth.
Quick before his eyes pop out of his head.
um, I'm
I,
trying
I
to decide how to word this without giving him away.
I think that they should be collected by our elven female friend.
The one who's not well known in town.
Yes.
Ah, her. Yes, she
Thank
can
you.
accomplish that task.
Very well. Do you want me to be there just in case? You know what? I'm gonna be there.
Well, that'll be your choice, but
Of course, I wouldn't miss this.
she,
I mean, if something were to go down,
yeah, but she's actually very capable of handling almost any situation.
I will
I
believe that.
believe that was going to happen today.
Yeah,
That's gonna
that would
happen
happen
tonight.
tonight.
We we
Yes.
we have that planned for tonight. Yes, absolutely.
Noted.
All right. Excellent. I will be sure to be ready. I will see you tonight. And he'll get up and he'll just right out of the house.
Thanks for the warning.
Well,
It leaves the 4 of you alone.
So anyway, I got that necklace to where it was going.
good to
I
know.
really don't. I don't trust them with it, but the fact is since I'm not sure what its long-term purpose is, I would rather uh, just get that out of my hands and on we go.
Well, let's hope that wasn't the item that we were told about last night.
We can only hope so. It's just a pendant, but yeah, it is a magic pendant. But if not, I mean, if it was that item, well, at least we know where it is.
True. And I'd go in and to detail and tell Forsyth what we learned after Kadath and Evangeline give the all clear. That
So
no one's
I will
spying.
cast.
Yeah. And he'll never reveal how much
See,
he actually sold the thing for.
see invisibility.
You do not see anything.
Because
Run
they
him
don't
for an hour.
know some details.
And Kadeth's always looking for magic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nothing out of the ordinary.
Anytime it seems some even slightly appropriate.
Yep. You don't sense anything that you didn't expect. So,
And if, once we get the all clear, Fix would not mind showing Forsyth the cards and everything here. But he will, after we conclude that, uh, make his way to the office.
all right. Upon hearing the readings, seeing the cards, whatnot, is there anything in which you wish to
I will
add
definitely
to?
I will definitely share with Kadath
Okay.
my thoughts that this upside down royal with the crown, emperor,
Mm-hmm.
I believe to be the leader of the Order of Truth.
Interesting thought.
It's very possible, considering the trouble that seems to have been brewing recently.
I'm
And
talking with Kadeth from the age, from being, since I was a young girl, I have questioned the things that I have learned from my father. I have questioned the things that I have learned while doing my studies at the university about the Order of Truth. I do not believe they are righteous. I believe they do things for their own personal gain. And I will share that ever since I was a young girl, I have wondered why things weren't different. And in college, as I was going through university and studying religion, I questioned the teachings that I was taught about the gods and the Order of Truth's philosophy that they are the religion of the land, and why they choose to want to exclude those that are different. like Forsyth. And others that we have met, like in Nihiliesh.
I, I, I have wondered many times about similar things with the Order of Truth. And I think a lot of it comes down to they claim to be for the truth, but only their truth, not the actual truth.
They believe that those with mutations are that way because they have chosen to use Numenera for their own personal gain. However, I do believe that that's what they do. And I do believe that they were following me because they know I have Numenera that I did not turn in to the order.
And they should really trust you if they accepted you as they claim to and accepted your reports and encouraged your activities the way they claim to, that shouldn't have been an issue.
That's what I believe. However, since our time in Saji, I have learned many new things. And although I know that Fix believes that all of these scryings were on him, I believe that some of them may have been intentionally on me.
It's very possible.
When it comes to relying on somebody with what I discover, what I find out, what I believe, other than those that we travel with, I at least know, I think, that I can count on Fix's mom to always react inside her role as
Absolutely.
the mistress.
Whatever she does is what's going to benefit her.
Well, and she does what she feels is right for her order, her people, which I've come to the unwilling realization that her order is not inherently evil as I once thought. They serve a purpose.
And I'm sorry if I missed this. Where's Fix there when you're having this conversation? Or
No.
did you wait till? Okay,
I waited till you left to go to your
Waited.
mother's office.
that's fine. That's what I was just confirming.
Yep.
All right.
However, Forsyth is still there.
Yeah, Forsyth's there listening to all of it,
Mm-hmm.
unless he scurried off somewhere.
No, not yet.
Literally scurried off.
I have feelings that the world as we know it is ready for change, a new beginning. The ushering in of a new age.
And that may be part of what we are accomplishing by following these cards. There's certainly been non-minor changes that have come about just because of our actions.
Well, I have certainly learned a lot, and I do believe that I have lost my confidence in not only my order, but possibly also my mentor.
That's reasonable.
I have severed all communications with my family in fear of what I'm doing may have repercussions on them. They do not know what I am doing.
In some ways, that may be for the best.
The last thing I want is for that vision that I had in the catacombs to come to pass. I hold tight to what's her name? The one that speaks in riddles.
Patra?
Tatra?
Yeah.
Lady Tatra?
Said about
Patra?
visions not being set in stone.
And if anyone knows about visions, it's her. She may not be the most straightforward, shall we say? But she doesn't lie about things and is willing to at least do what she can to help with understanding. Though it may not always be enough, as I can tell you for sure.
Well, on this quest we are on, any little bit of information that we can get is helpful.
Agreed.
And hopefully these cards will help us figure our way. Now all we have to do is figure out if Madame Giselle.
Oh.
Madame
Thinking
Giselle.
men.
If who Madame Giselle was speaking as is definitely Forsyth. And what it is that he has that is going to help us complete
I
the
wondered
next
that.
card.
But what do I have?
don't
have
know.
this doohickey.
Well, you have that, but you were
Yeah.
also given another stone, if you recall.
Yeah. Well, that's what I meant. My doohickey.
Yeah, you have one here, but you were also
Yeah.
given another one. You should
Yeah.
have two.
True.
One here
Yeah.
and another one.
Yeah. I got a few stones.
What are these stones?
Rock of Ages. Well, the one you never see. That's why I wear a glove. And yeah. The other, well, I'm looking for it on my sheet.
Yeah, to remind you, I don't know if you got it on there or not. It was in the email when you did your vision walk, basically.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh, I have 3 unknown stones. So
yeah, Eldath handed you a stone and said
yeah.
something along the lines of clear the land or purify
Yeah.
the land or something like that. I can't
Something
remember.
like that.
I don't
So we
remember the
press on.
exact words. Yeah,
I
I'd have
need
to
to take
reread it.
I need to take the necklace off the sheet. I don't have that anymore.
Oh, speaking of inventory.
but I do know who does. If we ever need to get it back.
I don't know if I got it on your sheet or not, or if you put it on your sheet.
I'm not sure. I have 3 unknown stones on there.
Okay. One of those may have been the other aquamarine.
Yeah, well, I have the one aquamarine.
Right, you have the
That
one.
that one's in the hand.
But then you have another aquamarine that he gave you, separate
Okay.
from that one. This one was yours to keep. This one was the one he asked to heal the land.
Right. And I'll just mark down one of these unknown stones as a aquamarine and say I have 2 unknown stones.
So are you actually bringing up these stones to us?
I will show you the one in my pack, not the one in my hand.
I'll just say, can I take a closer look at that?
Sure.
And I'll cast detect magic and
Okay.
see what I can figure out with it.
Looking at it through magic is almost odd. Most of the time when you see a magical stone, the magic will radiate from outside the stone. But the magic to this one radiates within the stone. It seems to be almost dormant. It's waiting for a catalyst.
Hmm.
And it does appear to be like an abjuration. It's a purification. And probably it's really strong in that, but it's dormant.
This seems like it'll have a use at some point, but I don't know where or what.
I don't either. That's why I keep it in my pack.
Is this the only stone like this that you have?
I have a couple other stones, but they're just rocks to me.
Very well. Well, perhaps this will come in handy sometime in the near future.
Possibly.
This conversation. You have disappeared, Fix. You have made your way to your mother's office. You catch when you walk in, you catch her kind of stacking up some papers and getting them straightened out and getting ready. She puts them in a drawer as you walk in. You'd caught her in the middle of stuff. She does not seem to be intentionally hiding anything. I'll put it that way. It's just she's doing her work.
Paperwork.
Right,
Doesn't matter who you are, you can't get away from it.
Unfortunately so. I'd walk in, like, lean against the door frame until she notices me.
Oh, and after a couple of seconds, she gets it put away. She kind of pulls out some more parchment. She starts to write and she stops. She looks up. Kofik, what can I do?
So, where do you keep him? Well, I know his offspring, or her offspring, I guess it would be, was in the room that Forsyth saw, but all my life living here, I still can't think of where you would keep such a large creature.
Does his own thing until I call on him.
Hmm.
He's as much wild as he is tame.
So it's a he. So where's his mate if you had his offspring?
His mate is one of the drakes of the knights. I want to make sure I say it right. The knights. Let's check a dream. Angulan Knight. His mate rides with the Angulan Knights.
Hmm. Interesting. But
What did you say, Joe?
Not mine.
Not
Not
mine.
mine.
no, sorry about that. Um,
Senior has a cat, so it ain't his either.
Yeah,
hey, I saw a video with a cat
blaming
barking.
himself.
I have seen cats bark. It's very interesting.
Not this one.
Mhm. Um, so I did a thing, and I don't have the gold to cover said thing, and that thing's gonna be arriving probably soon.
I need some money.
Can I have
I
some
mean,
money, Mama?
you were the one that said that I should go to this person, and they were very keen to do it. I think they were counting on the fact of my name to mean I had money, which I've got 819. No, wait, no. Today I now have 89 gold, thanks to Forsyth.
Well, if you'd have stuck at your job, you'd have more money.
Yes, and I would still be Kofik, the titleless one.
Well, until I found it necessary to bring you out.
Oh, look at my lordly son, the Ori runner that sits there and looks at the stars and doesn't know anything that's going on. Yes, yes. Even the servants know more than I did.
Well, you weren't supposed to know anything.
The servants, mother.
Yeah, well, they keep secrets. You'd be surprised how much servants know in most places. They're usually the first to know what's going on.
Hmm.
We just keep ours informed. Keeps them from speculating. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I did encourage you to go there. Yes, I
And
was aware of it.
if you hadn't done that, then I wouldn't have seen the stars, and I wouldn't have been curious. See, this all started because of you.
Okay.
All your fault.
I'll it over to me. I see how it goes.
Mm.
Blame mom. I see how it is.
Oh, oh, mother, I know what your night job is. You're used to it, and it typically is your doing.
I won't deny that. But yes, I will be sure that the bill is paid.
Much appreciated. And I'll take out like half of what I have and I'll set it on the desk.
Because he doesn't want to be penniless.
If you are so low on funds, you do not have to pay me this.
Hmm.
Now, a real kid would have said okay and taken it back.
Okay.
Well, at least if you were her daughter.
Well, I'll take it back, and then I'll take a gold piece out, and I'll toss it to her, and he'll say, "I learned recently that nothing for free is for free, so thank you."
Okay. You, you're welcome.
Kofik is becoming paranoid. Like
Uh, she'll take the gold. She'll toss it down into her drawer. She's like, if that makes you feel better.
well, thank you.
Of course. About this time, you will hear a servant come through and kind of stop at the door and wait. Your mom will look up and motion them in. They're like, Master, what was his name? Gerald? Gerald? What was his name? Did I give him a name?
You did. I don't remember what it was.
I don't remember what it was either. I want to say it was like Gerald. Uh, we'll say Master Gerald was sent one of his apprentices with with some armor, and she'll say, "Oh yes, um, yes, that is for Kofik." And she'll pull out some a parchment. She'll pull out a parchment and kind of write it down and hand it to the servant and say, "Just that should suffice." And she'll say, "Okay," and she'll head out.
She's leaving her office.
Oh no, the servant leaves the
Okay.
office. It's like your mama's kind of looking at you. You should probably at least make sure it fits.
If he's as good as you say he is, then I shouldn't have anything to worry about.
Probably won't, but better to find out now when he can fix it than
Oh well,
no.
I wanted to. What isn't it? Bring your son to work day. I wanted to watch.
Oh, yeah, yeah. You really want to watch me fill out paperwork? That's about as daunting as all can get out.
He kind of smirks and he's like, "Yeah, I'll go try on the armor."
Okay, that's what I figured. All right, you head out to the foyer, and you do see the apprentice is there. He's setting down the armor gently on a table in the foyer, um, and was exchanges a few words with the servant. Takes the parchment, and he sees you, recognizes you, and he says, "Lord Kofik, uh, the armor
Just
you requested,"
just call me Fix. Thank you.
and he'll give you a little bow and head out the door.
And I'll examine it.
It's pristine. It is beautiful. It is polished. It is worked at its finest degree. And it does indeed have the specifications of the symbols of Gon on it, as you requested.
I will smile and I will pick it up and I will take it to my room and I will take the 5 hours or however it longs to put it on. And I'll actually ask one of the servants to assist because
Yeah, they will assist.
While Fix is playing with his armor, I will make my way to Lady Trinston's office and knock on the door.
Okay. You get the armor on fixed, and it fits you as if you were standing there and having it molded to you. Like, literally. It is
It fits better than
perfect.
Lady Gara's.
Yep. It fits wonderfully. Fits at least as good, if not better, than Lady Gara's.
I better watch what I eat so I don't put on any weight.
No more sausages for you, boy.
And with that, yeah, I will start. I wouldn't say parading, but not parading.
But not parading.
Yes,
He's strutting around the house.
strutting.
Yes.
Yes, and like move like every so often doing like a hiya, like just testing the movement of it to its
Yeah.
fullest extent.
All right. Yeah,
Trying to
you're.
find one of my brothers to spar with or something.
You probably find Doran. Doran will do it. Um. All right. So you walk in, Evangeline. You knock. I'm assuming her door is open. Um. Yeah. She doesn't have it closed right now.
I
And
would at least knock on the door
the
frame
door
or
frame.
something.
Yeah. She looks up from a parchment that she's writing on. She says, Evangeline, what can I do for you?
Well, I find myself in a situation where
Have you seen a doctor about it?
I have no place to call home, so to speak, and I have made a complete mess of the room you have graciously allowed me to stay in with all of my stuff from my rooms at the Order of Truth. I will not be returning there. I'm asking if I have a bag in which my stuff is in, if I may leave it in the care of your household.
Absolutely.
I feel that it could be safe here.
Oh, it will be.
So they
I
want you.
appreciate it very much, and I appreciate the hospitality.
Of course.
And I wanted to thank you personally.
It is my pleasure. Make as much of a mess of that room as you need.
Thank you very much. And I will smile, and I will turn and I will walk out. And head to said room with my piles of books and trinkets and gadgets and gears and gizmos.
You will pass Vic strutting in the hallway.
And I'll be like,
As
Evangeline, look, hey, look.
I will look at him and go, nice armor.
I'll be like, look, punch me right here, punch me.
I will go.
Yeah, she is not.
I'm not necessarily weak. But I will make him feel good about it. And then I'll pull a cloth out of my pocket and go, oh,
Oh.
got a spot.
Oh no. What have I done? All right. Cadeth and Forsyth, anything you're doing in the meantime?
Getting my stuff situated and exploring again.
All right. Roll me an investigation.
pan.
Ah, okay. You pretty much you don't find anything new. You will, however, when you go into the upper library,
Okay.
you will see where the little drake that you saw before. There is evidence of the drake there, but the drake is no longer there.
Okay.
While you're in there, go ahead and clean that pile up.
I
You
will.
find scat.
Since the Drake isn't there, I didn't get a chance to get into the library the last time I was up in this neighborhood. I will go ahead and explore the library now.
All right.
Looking at book titles and seeing if there are any hidden panels and
All right.
such.
As you're exploring the room, um, you find it looks like a general library of most homes that you've probably pilfered from. Um, not that you've lived in,
Visited.
visited. That's right. For those that you have visited, has a plethora of various history books and learning books, arithmetic and writing and various things, and um, some fun fictional stuff. There is one section that does seem a little off. There is a whole section of books in here about botany, plants, all
Okay.
kinds of plants.
Right.
And
Which
it's
I'm
rather
interested in.
extensive. You start looking at it and you pull out a book and you kind of flip through it a little bit. There are handwritten notes on the sides. As you flip through, you start to see recipes, various things. You're looking at an alchemist, basically, notes and
Right.
studies, and how to make various potions and ointments and poisons and all kinds of stuff. You're looking at all of these books and all the ones you pick through. That's what you're picking up on all of these books.
Okay. Do I see anything on animal control?
You do see a section on animals. Um, there is one book on drakes, but most of the books on the animals are basically, their anatomy, their habitats, their hierarchies within herds, or if they're single roamers,
Right.
things like that. That's most of what you see. The book on drakes does have a few handwritten notes on how to um, gain a drake's trust per se. Uh, it's not just a easily done at the bottom, and it says easily done from birth, but not so much from the wild. But there are little notes and stuff on the sides. Some areas of the book it's circled, underlined, things like that. That somebody has done some extensive study on drakes.
Okay. Are there any general or like say an encyclopedia of what I'm looking for is a book like character sketches. Uh, a book about, say, older animals.
Okay. Yeah, in some of there is some older animals. You're gonna find some information on some animals
Elderly
like
turtles.
like what?
Elderly turtles.
Elderly
It's
Yeah,
turtles. That's right. The
yeah.
tortoises. The
Yes,
desert
the
tortoises of Wolf.
150-year-old tortoises. I
Yeah.
get that.
Yes.
You are going to see some information in there about dragon turtles. You're going to see some
Right.
information in there about owl bears and buckbeaks and various things that are not as common in this world because now they look, to most people in this age, they're mutations. You know, you don't have
Right.
an owl bear, you know, they're mutations.
Right.
But you are going to see some information on there. What you do find in there, oddly enough, is some information on that you didn't even, you thought they were a myth. You're like,
Or a
what?
myther.
You thought they were a myth.
The myth, the myth.
The myth.
A myther. I love that movie, by the way. A myth. Yes. Carol Kane plays that role
Wrong
very
direction.
well.
You will find some information on Allosauruses, Ankylosauruses,
Those are the ones that bite the ankles.
Triceratops, Pteranodons, Tyrannosaurus, Plesiosaurus.
How about Quetzalcoatlus?
Yep, probably there too.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to actually just take that book and sit down and start reading
All right.
until someone finds me and says, "What are you doing here?"
What are you doing? But, and you know, oddly enough, servants will pass by and not think twice about it.
Right.
You're in the
I'm
library.
not worried about the servants. I'm worried about his mom
Anything in
or his
particular?
sister.
Right. Anything in particular you're doing, Kadeth? Oh. You have more?
Yeah, I was just going to focus on the flying dinosaurs.
The flying ones, yes.
Which is, yeah.
Kadeth, anything you're doing
More and
while
more
you're waiting?
about it.
No,
No? Okay. All right.
don't have anything pressing that I can think of,
You
or
know,
anything interesting.
you walk by Kadeth's room and he seems to be meditating. Always meditating. What?
Doesn't sleep long enough.
Obviously. This
Is
is how I
that the
catch my
truth?
shut-eye. No, don't start now. All right. All right. As the day winds on, evenings begins to approach. It becomes close to time that you are expected at the Griffin. You gather yourselves together and you head to the inn and tavern known as
Well, the only one that would be going would be Forsyth, I thought,
the Griffin. Oh, you're going to leave him by himself?
to pick
I
up
thought you
the
said I had
things as the elf chick.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, it wouldn't hurt to have you guys near enough.
Yeah,
to
we'll be
respond.
near enough, but like we don't want to be seen picked with the
Right.
I will
bids.
All right.
I
cast
would get partway there.
invisibility
Yeah.
on myself when we go before we go in.
I will get partway there and find a copse
Okay.
and
I can
and
actually use
switch
this.
and switch in the copse.
All right. You change
Hold
into your
on.
elven lady.
Let's see. Let me
Right.
see what.
I will adjust my clothes to match the part.
Get out of the
Okay.
way. I can cast invisibility on 2 people. If I cast it at 3rd level.
How are the
So
go ahead.
I can cast invisibility on either Kadeth or fix either one. If somebody else wants to follow him in, or we could stay 2 and 2. Up to you guys. I have the ability to cast on 2. I'm going to cast on myself. I'm going to let Forsyth know that I'm going to be invisible, so he makes sure that I can get in the door.
Right. I will use all my charm to get in the door widely.
Right. Fix, Kadeth, do either of you want to be invisible?
Chuck, do you want to join? Otherwise, I can. It doesn't matter to me.
No, I'd say why don't I stay visible?
Do you
I'm
want
big
me
enough
to,
that it's a little bit of a danger for me to be the invisible one.
do you want me to polymorph you?
No, I can go as I am.
Okay.
Well, we didn't want to be seen with the bids. Was the thing we didn't want. That's why it was
Oh,
a silent,
Right.
an
that's
anonymous
true.
auction.
Right.
That's true.
But the two of you can come in a little bit later with one of you invisible.
I
Or the
want to
two
be
of us
acting
can go
like
in
you're
a little
making a
bit
bid.
later. Well, no,
Or
or
you
we can
can
just
just
go
go in
in
later.
a little bit later, and we're buying drinks. You know, we're friends, and this is not so far outside of the upper crust of town that it would be odd to see Fix there.
Yeah,
Yep.
All right.
very true.
All right. So it's just Evangeline that is invisible coming in with the elven female, whom I don't know if you ever named. Did you ever give your elven female persona a name?
No, I haven't actually.
Just curious.
I mean, I can. We'll just call her. I have a character by this name, Silhouette.
Silhouette. I like it. All right. All right. So Evangeline, you go in invisible with Silhouette, and you find yourself a table and get you a drink. And after a little bit of time, Gavian will approach you, kind of with a quizzical look. It's like, I don't recognize you. I assume you are the female elf that I was told would be here.
I believe that would be me.
Okay. All right.
And
Then,
I'm going to, knowing I'm going to be here at least an hour, I'm going to cast enhance ability.
okay.
Fox's cunning.
Okay. That
Advantage
is
on intelligence checks.
intelligence. Okay.
Right. Also gives me 5. No, that's only on bear's endurance. Okay, no, it's just the foxes. It rolls that for some. It rolls the bear's endurance, but
Interesting.
fox's cunning.
All right. Okay. Evangeline, you're hanging out nearby.
For some reason, we're getting a bit of feedback from Chuck's end. It looks like.
Weird.
Yeah, because when
It's
I'm talking,
it's only when Jody talks.
I heard it when I talked
well,
once or
is
twice
your
as
door
well.
open?
No, the door's closed.
Interesting. So weird.
Hmm.
Well,
I mean,
Either way.
I know my headset's been acting
At
funny.
least it's not my fan.
No fan of mine.
all right. After a little bit of time, Fix and Kadeth, you come in. You get a drink. You sit at the bar. Some random dark table.
Some random
Somewhere in the
table.
middle. Some
Yeah,
random
just
table.
yeah.
Okay. All right. I need 4. I need perception checks.
23.
Nice.
$21.
8.
4.
My passive is 10. Now, if I investigate,
Passive is 11, but I got a 4.
All right. You will begin to see a couple of people come into the bar. With your 23 foresight, you are going to see them kind of looking around. They, they come in individually. They're not all together. They appear to be servants or apprentices or usually a messenger of some kind. You recognize it just from your trade. You recognize messengers. And
Yes. Having played one before.
yeah. Yeah, you are able to, with your 23 perception, you pick up on them and you kind of wave them over. They'll come over and they'll say, each one of them kind of says it a little different, but they let you know that they are here to present an offer. And they will hand you basically an envelope where it's the offer that they're presenting. And on the outside of the envelope, or actually, if you open it up within the envelope, it'll have a name. It won't be on the outside. It'll have a name on the inside. You get several envelopes that come in. A lot of the names you don't recognize. And some of the amounts it's kind of like, I think we can do better with that.
I will rack and stack them.
Yeah. Among those names, though, that you do see is Gara. You do see Lady Gara.
No surprise.
You do see Lord Strolduck.
Right.
You do see Jennick Reprut.
Okay.
Who was that?
He was
Yeah,
one of the people that was at the ball that you didn't recognize.
Gotcha.
You learned about him at the ball.
And he was with Lady Gara, right?
No.
Oh,
No, he wasn't with her. I mean, he talked to her and whatnot, but
gotcha.
he wasn't like with her. You will recognize Forsyth, Isabella Harak.
Right.
You will also recognize Sylvia.
Fortunately, neither of them would recognize me right now.
Nope. And you will recognize Arias Trenson.
Right. Which I also expected.
Mm-hmm. But there's several others in there. That's just not so much.
Because he's the one we sold it up to.
Lord
Strolduck
Strolduck,
was,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, you do see those. Looking around and keeping an eye on things fixed with your 21, you are going to notice two people, different areas of the bar, that seem to be watching what's going on, observing. Both of them are male. One of them is thin, 5'10", black hair, dark eyes, dark leather armor. Seems to be just sitting, watching. Has a drink next to him, but he has a knife out. He's cutting an apple. He's eating the apple. He's very slow because he's watching. He's observing. The other one, opposite end of the tavern, also watching, observing, is a heavier set, 6'2", auburn hair, brown eyes, wearing splint armor. He's drinking an ale, and you're pretty sure he's not. Every time that cup hits his lips, you're pretty sure he's not taking a drink every time. Otherwise, he'd be done with that ale already. So you do see that there are a couple of people watching, and of course, you have eyes on your brother as well. Gavian is floating around the bar. He doesn't stay in one place very long, but he's always watching.
Do I recognize
Okay.
either of the men?
You do not.
Is there anyone in the tavern that I do recognize?
few people, yeah, just from around town, merchants and a couple of other nobles, maybe
Anyone that
even another order of a priest or priestess from the Order of Truth.
is there anyone that I recognize as being acquaintances to Gidna?
No.
Guess that plot isn't going to work twice.
Okay.
We
Uh,
gotta make a run for it.
I'm
I,
gonna
I'll
I'm gonna
I'll
actually
I'll bring the drink up to my drink up to my lips, and I will whisper into the communicator what I've picked up on,
Okay.
and suggest we be careful.
okay. I'm
Do
going
I
to
recognize anybody? Being also from Key?
You recognize a couple from the Order of Truth, and you will recognize some of the merchants and things that are having a drink. Maybe a couple of merchants in a corner making a deal or whatever, not really paying attention to what's going on around them. They're too engrossed in their own business. You do
I'm
recognize
gonna
some
ask
faces and whatnot.
I'm gonna ask for 2 items from the waitress.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask for a plate,
Okay.
a metal one, and a candle,
All right.
a lit candle.
All right.
And as bids come in, for the protection and anonymity of those who might have, how shall I put it, underbid significantly, I'm going to take these smaller bids and I'm going to uh, light the envelope on fire and the candle and put it on the little plate.
Okay.
I will save the bids from Lady Gira, from the Trinston family, from the major players
Okay.
to compare their bids later. But for now, we're going to get rid of the small fries.
All right. Will do.
Weed out the
So,
riffraff.
weed
Yep.
out the riffraff. So, what I'm going to have you do is I am going to have each of you roll a d20. I want you to add history or persuasion. I don't care which one.
I do.
I
Not
do.
really.
You choose history or persuasion. This is kind of being indicative of how you
Oh,
kind of
wait.
sold the painting to people as you were talking about it or various other
History
things.
is an intelligence roll, so I
Yes,
get the
it is.
advantage.
So I want each of you to roll that
History or persuasion?
history or persuasion.
Okay.
14
Okay.
roll for me.
19.
Okay.
Once. And
27.
Okay. Wow. Look at you pulling out the big
Hello,
numbers when it
Kadath.
matters.
was that persuasion or history?
That was history.
Oh wow.
Where's that been?
Right?
My persuasion is good, but not that good. It's 25.
Wow, that's pretty good. All right. I'm going to ask you to do that again. Be prepared to do it
Okay.
multiple times.
By the way,
Well,
I'm going to do something. I rolled a 10. I'm going to do something rather interesting using my sleight of hand, a 22. I'm going to take Lady Gira's bid, which I didn't burn, and I am going to slip that inside of my robe into a hidden pocket.
Okay.
well, I can get a 27 too when I roll a natural 20.
So I got a dirty 20. So.
I got a dirty 20 as well.
Dang. All right. Do it again.
Mm,
This will all make
22.
sense in a
Oh,
minute.
and did I recognize those two people since they got pointed out?
No, you do not.
Did I recognize anybody from Thrice?
there's probably a couple of merchants from Thrice here.
13.
Then I would
Did you-
definitely at some point talk to them if they're people I have interacted with
Okay.
before. I got 19 that time. My rolls are getting worse.
A
Did
21.
you get that? Did you get that roll, Jody?
Yeah, you
that
got
last
a
one?
22.
Yep.
Yep. All right. I need another one.
That
Yeah,
one's a
that's
dirty
it.
20.
Okay.
And my numbers are going down.
Oh no.
17.
Mine are going up. It was a 25.
Good.
Mine are
18.
jumping all over the place.
All right.
Mine went steadily down.
Yes, they are. They're steadily going. I need this 2 more times. So here, let's see how low we can go.
How low can you go? 23 on that one.
16.
I mean, I
24.
almost went as low as I could go. I got a 16 and then 10.
Nice.
And a 24 on the last one.
So they literally went from one below my highest to one above my lowest.
I got 11 on the last one.
I got 16 on both, so.
2, 3, 4. All right. Okay. I am going to add all this up, and you'll find out the results of the auction next week.
Oh,
Of course.
No.
all right.
All right. So, those of you who are watching, thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging in there. Be sure to check out our website, dndaddjokes.com, and check that out for summaries of all of our past episodes. Well, not all of them. Maybe the last 6 or
Some
so
of them.
since we started the
Recent.
website. The recent episodes. Stay in touch with updates and hit the GM Corner and learn about our characters. And be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you know when we're live. And like our video, share our video, leave a comment down below what you thought was cool. And we will see you next week.